You mentioned freedom, and that's kind of what you want to help encourage other people to achieve. Are we talking financial freedom so they have options, or kind of fill me in on what that freedom word means to you?
Yeah, I mean, look, freedom's different for everybody. I mean, right now, if you have a corporate job and you're working 60 hours a week and you know you're worth more, freedom might just be the ability to make your own decisions, right? I want to be able to decide when I come to work and when I go home. I'm a badass. I'm going to get it done. You know what I mean? But like, I just want the ability to choose, right? I mean, freedom of choice is a huge, huge thing for people. I've realized that. In fact, one of the things I said to my dad when he asked me, like, how are you coming to terms with selling the business, for all your people? And I said, Dad, I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just opening the birdcage, right? And it's like everybody, there's a lot of people that came to work for me every single day that I know without them telling me they had an obligatory relationship with me. They love me. They care about me. They know that I've created a great place for them to come to work. And so they've chosen to stay locked in a birdcage, right? And be out of obligation. And as soon as I open up the birdcage, you can stay if you want, but you can also go out on that little bridge and you can flap your wings and see if you want to try something new and fly away. So freedom might just be choice for some. I love to work. So freedom for me is not working. Freedom for me is really about freedom of design and freedom of creative self-expression. That's a huge thing for me, right? I need to be able to dress the way I want to dress, say what I want to say. One of the biggest inhibitors in owning a business for me, especially a business where as real estate salespeople, we're taught to be very optically accessible. Social media and billboards and newspapers and postcards and like your face and your name and all this stuff. People want to go and research you. So they want to go to your social media, they want to go to your website and all these things. Is I can't really say everything I want to say in the world. And I have big opinions, and I have big opinions that I think could shape the world. I really do. But I couldn't say them because, an opinion might land on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence, or I might play neutral and people think I'm being weak because I'm taking a neutral stance. And so I had to quiet my voice in a lot of ways that I otherwise didn't want to. And for me, one of the biggest things would be creative self-expression. I want to be able to just be who I am, how I want to be, when I want to be, express the way I want to express. And if you want to play my game, get on that train. It is going to be a good train to ride, I promise. But if you don't, there's going to be a really clear line in the sand that you don't want to participate. And I'm totally okay with that because it saves me from having to waste time that I have to give away to people who only want to play a part-time game. After that, certainly the finance. Look, I think money, this is an opinion. Money to me is just a resource to get more of what you want. That's it. Okay. So the definition, money is like, I want more money. Great. My first question is why? If you want more for the sake of more, good luck. You're outrunning a bear. I've played that game, and the bear's going to catch you. At some point, you're going to be like, I made 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand, a million. I guarantee all your 7-figure earners that watch this, they're going to know what I say when you make $1 million for the first time. It's as uneventful. It's more uneventful than you can possibly imagine. And by the way, I've never made 10 million in a year, right? But if someone's going to make 10 million in a year, guess what? I bet it's less eventful than making your first million, right? So it's this thing of, and the reason is because there's no destination, right? For me, I always have to start with the question of what's enough, right? What is enough? And then I'm going to go strive for enough. And when I get there, I'll reevaluate. And then I can update the contract or I can stay where I'm at, generally speaking. I mean, that's impossible for me. And what I mean by that, stay where I'm at, is if I get to enough financially, I get to enough from a freedom perspective, then for me, it's going to be health and wellness, relationship, communication, philanthropy. There's going to be something that I'm going to be growing into and striving for. But that freedom question really is relative for most. A lot of what I teach when I help people approach the conversation of freedom is really starting with a very customized process of what is it that you want, and then backing them into the method of getting where they want to go. That one for me is really creative self-expression, right? Right now, I love to creative write. One of your questions that you had asked me early on was like, what's something people don't know about you? And for me, it's that I love creative writing. For about 1.5 years, I composed an email, a long email every morning to the brokerage that was my life lesson from the day before. The really cool thing about this was that it made me extract lessons every day, right? So I'd be like, well, that's my lesson for the day. So I was awake to what was happening in my day. But then it gave me an opportunity to be really vulnerable with the agents too and be like, hey, yesterday I was crapped out, and here's how I dug myself out of a hole, or here's how I realized I allowed myself to get crapped out, or man, here's the value of communication with your partner and being vulnerable. I was really crapped out. I didn't want to bring her into it, but she just kept pressing because she knew I wasn't feeling well. Like, it's this type of dialogue that I could carry through those emails. And it really created depth of connection. And I really learned that I had a bit of a skill for writing. Now, I haven't deployed it in any way, but I love doing it. At some point, that's going to become part of my daily routine for me, that hopefully will create an impact in others' lives and probably bring them into the other businesses that I'll create and things like that. But that creative self expression is the anchor to my freedom.